What is up guys, Mod here, and today we're going to be going over all of the tips and tricks I can possibly think of for new and returning players. Let's get into it. These also work for you if you don't know about them, so I recommend watching anyways. Now that we're in our own instance, we don't want to worry about anything we see on screen, but what we want to do is open up our options. There's a lot of options, so I'm going to take you through what I have on. We have chat options. Censor profanity is a new one. I'm sure a lot of you will be like, huh? But yes, you can turn on and off profanity. We want to go to our gameplay settings. We will look at the left menu in just a second. I have animations off. The reason I have animations off is simply to save FPS. This game doesn't run super well, and that's just a limitation of Flash. We're going to go to our left menu, and I'm going to show you all of the options I have on. Starting with allow quest log turn-ins. It allows you to open up your quest menu whenever you have one, and turn it in from wherever you are. The second option is going to be auto untarget dead targets. You want this on, it saves you a lot of time when farming. Okay, the next one is auto untarget self. This applies to you. If you accidentally apply a buff to yourself, it'll pop up right here, and it'll be really annoying trying to click on enemies when all you're doing is targeting yourself. From here, we have battle pets. This can be on or off, depends on you. I have it on because I think battle pets are cool. Then we have character select screen, that cool screen you saw at the start, where I could pick whatever character I wanted. And yes, you can have a lot of characters on that menu. This is for that. Chat settings, I have disable red messages, class active / or as you want. Let me show you what this does. So as you can see, I hit a Frogzard, and it applies the buff on him. The next setting we want to have on is custom drops. As you can see, my item drop is not the same. I can move it around, I can click on it, open it, close it, open it, and I can put it wherever I want it to be. I usually have it at the bottom here, but sometimes I have off to the left or to the right. It really helps with clearing up space in the middle of the screen. It's a very, very cool system. You have all of these options that you can play and fiddle with, and from here, you want to go down to disable damage strobe. This one is super important because it saves a lot of FPS in the long run. The next setting I have is quest pinner. Let me show you how this works. So we are going to talk to Yolgar. We have his quest right here, and we click this pin option that is now available. So how this works is you can take someone's quest with you. This is huge in zones and story areas. So we join battle on, we go up to the top left here, we click the exclamation point, and look at that. Very cool. Very, very cool. Okay, the next setting is for farming. You can re-accept the quests after you turn them in. I don't recommend having this on for story-related content. It's really obnoxious having to abandon all of those quests that keep re-accepting. From here, smooth background, it just helps with FPS. And the final one is visual skills CDs. You can see how long it takes for your skills to come back up, and it's very useful in endgame content. We're going to look at a setting called keybinds. I know I hovered over it, but this is really cool. You can put all of these options to a specific action. For example, N. See? It works. This is especially useful when you have to click something behind the monster, and then you can quickly turn it back on. Very straightforward, very simple. Okay, now that we have our settings, the first thing you're going to want to do, open up your map. This is very crucial. Click on Story. Mod from the future here. I'm going to introduce you to your best friend, the Adventure Quest World's Wiki. This has all the information you can possibly need, more than I could ever give you. So if you're ever curious or ever confused or ever having trouble, consult the AQ World's Wiki. Trust me, it'll save you a lot of headache. Anyways, enjoy the video and be sure to subscribe. Let's get to 5K. Another thing that my past self forgot to mention is the join command. If you do not know this exists, do /join map name, and then you could put a dash and put any number you want, but that's for private rooms. So if you just want to join the public instance, just do /join map name. There you go. Follow this bar for bar. It shouldn't be too hard, but ideally you want to at the very least get through the Chaos Lord saga. It'll take some time, but with enough patience you'll make it through. Getting through the Chaos Lord saga is crucial for all other parts of the game. The rest of the story after that is not super needed. However, I do recommend doing it when you can. Trust me, I have a hard time doing it too. For veteran players, or people who have come back to the game and have already beaten the Chaos Lord Saga, go to the main menu of the adventure section and do any of which you see fit. It should all be aligned to your level, and one I really recommend is Darkon's Elegy. This is the best story in the game, best story AE has to offer. One of the best, not the best. And have fun. The next thing we're going to talk about is enhancements and potions. Enhancements. You go over to this menu, right, bottom right, then to the shops, then enhancements. Then you look at all of your enhancements. For most classes, most early game classes, you want to roll with Lucky. Lucky just covers most areas pretty straightforward. You can mix and match if you really want to. However, Lucky will cover most things. From here, we're going to talk about the more in-depth enhancements. So follow me to Museum, and we want to look at the Blade of Awe. Awe enhancements. Awe enhancements are a step above the rest. Getting the Blade of Awe is quite simple. It just takes quite a bit of time, a lot of RNG involved, but it's overall quite simple. That's just why I recommend doing the Chaos storyline before you do any of this. From here, we want to join Forge. This is a rather new map. This came out this year with brand new enhancements that have quests. These quests give you all sorts of buffs, and they are really, really strong. Hi, I'm here to tell you what classes you should pick up in AQ Worlds. For low levels, you want to start with Blood Sorceress. You can have someone teleport you to the boss and kill it. From there, you want to pick either Pyromancer for Blazebinder at a later level, or you want to pick Cryomancer. Personally, I recommend Cryomancer. However, Pyromancer and Cryomancer both take a week to get with dailies. So start off with Blood Sorceress and then move on to those two, whichever one you want. For late game, I recommend getting Legion Revenant. Legion Revenant is the best class in the game by a long shot. It does take a long time to get. As for other classes, I recommend checking out my top 5 classes video. It has pretty much all of the meta endgame classes, although I will be moving Legion Revenant up a spot to number 1. From here, you're probably thinking about getting into Ultra Fights. Now, Ultra Fights are the end game. They are the hardest fights in the game, and they require you to think. So let's just join time in. So you're probably going to want to do all of this. However, you want to focus on not any of this. We're going to focus on getting Exalted Apotheosis. Why Exalted Apotheosis over, let's say, a class or a 75% weapon? Well, Exalted Apotheosis deals 51% damage to all monsters. It is the easiest 51% damage weapon in the game to get. I promise you. So find yourself a group of friends who can do it, and from there, once you do get Exalted Apotheosis, I highly recommend going for, in difficulty, Nolgath the Archfiend, Champion Draketh, Tindarius, Drago, Dage, and last but not least, Darkon the Conductor. Darkon the Conductor is the hardest fight in the game. Second to Dage. Dage is hard because of positioning. Not a lot of the fights require positioning, but Dage does. So I would recommend doing the fights in those orders, and if you don't want to, go out whichever order you want. It doesn't really matter at the end of the day. It's up to you. For my final tips and tricks, there are 2 factions which are heavily represented in this game, the Legion and the Nation, both of which have really good rewards and really good cosmetics. Starting off, we're going to go to the Underworld. In order to join the Legion, you need 1,200 adventure coins. From here, you will buy Undead Warrior. Undead Warrior will give you access to all of Dage's quests and his Undead Legion. Every year he has a birthday in March with a ton of cosmetics and a ton of farming classes. Now for Nolgath, you want to do /join Citadel, and then follow me. You're going to need 50 bone dust, which I recommend you get from Battle Under B. It's very easy to get, trust me. Has a lot to offer you. But where I would recommend going, especially if you're a newer or an endgame player, I would recommend getting Void High Lord in the other room. And here I would recommend doing your very first miniature endgame, Juggernaut Items of Nolgath. It's a cult classic. Farming it's actually very easy. It's not like it was back in the day. However, it's very good for starting. It's a very good early to mid game quest, especially for if you need gold and XP. A good pet you'll see a lot of people with is Trudgeon the Assistant. Anybody can click on this pet. As you know, you've probably seen it before, you probably remember it, and it's changed ever so slightly. Instead of getting Ishurian's helmet, you will get a Relic of Chaos, and then you can farm up to 13 of them. And then you turn it in all at once because of all these new features. Very cool. Very, very cool. Thank you so much for watching my Returning Player's Guide. I know I didn't go into detail about everything. I highly recommend you use the wiki. And from here, I hope you have a wonderful experience in game. I will be streaming every Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Sunday. If you would like to join my guild, it is open. We have plenty of slots for members. We're a very helpful guild. We usually play together while I'm streaming, and it's usually a fun time. And if you need any help, feel free to ask in the comments, and I will do my best. Thank you so much for watching. Let's get to 5K, and I'll see you next time.